They said the rain was unlike anything Dialu had ever seen. Not the kind that sang gently on zinc roofs or blessed the yam fields. This one roared, tore, broke. It came with the kind of rage only the sky could explain. By the time I heard the news, I was sitting in a one-room apartment in Lagos, half asleep, half alive. A call from my cousin. Chitty, the storm scattered everything. Mama's shop is gone. The whole street, nothing remain. At first, I didn't believe him. Dialu was where time moved slowly, where people still greeted you properly, where the same mango tree had stood in front of our compound since before I was born. But storms don't care about memories. They just come. When I arrived, 3 days later, I saw it for myself. The place that raised me, the street that taught me how to ride a bicycle, where I sold sachet water after school, now looked like a photograph someone had spilled water on. Mama's shop. Collapsed. Her sewing machine. Buried under roofing sheets. The woman who once held our family together now sat on a broken bench, staring into space like her thoughts had scattered with the wind. I felt something inside me crumble. Guilt? Regret? Or maybe it was the realization that I had been running from something all these years. Running from my hometown, from my roots, and maybe even from myself. I had left Dialu for Lagos 5 years earlier, chasing the same thing everyone else was chasing, opportunity. I worked jobs that didn't know my name. Laughed at jokes I didn't find funny. Told myself, at least I'm surviving. But in that moment, standing in front of Mama's destroyed shop, I didn't feel like someone who had survived. I felt empty. That night, I couldn't sleep. The rain had stopped, but its memory stayed in the cracks of the walls, the smell of wet earth, the silence of a once busy street. I walked outside, past neighbors sitting with lanterns, past children huddled in wrappers. Every face carried the same look, tired, but waiting. Waiting for someone to start something. The next morning, I picked up a broom. I didn't know what I was doing. I just swept, first the front of Mama's shop, then the inside. Cleared debris. Stacked the broken wood. People watched. No one said anything. Until one boy, Ebuka, joined me. He didn't ask questions. Just picked up a hammer and started helping. Then Mama came out with a head tie wrapped tight and handed us cups of gari and groundnut. Her hands were shaking. But her voice? Steady. This is not how we end. That was the beginning. The next day, more people came. Auntie Igioma brought roofing nails. Mr. Adigwe from the next village donated wood. Even Emeka, the same boy who once fought me in secondary school, came with his younger brother, carrying buckets of sand and cement. We didn't have a contractor. We had something else, hands, hearts, and a memory of what this place used to be. While we rebuilt Mama's shop, something inside me was rebuilding too. I had always thought I needed to leave home to become someone. But it was there, in the dust and sweat and shared effort, that I began to see myself clearly for the first time. Every nail I drove in felt like a question being answered. What if I'm more than I think I am? What if what I've been looking for is already inside me? One afternoon, after laying the foundation again, I found Mama sitting on a stool, staring at the rising walls. She looked up and said, "You know, Chitty, your father used to say something. That hardship doesn't destroy a man. It reveals him." I nodded, feeling those words sit heavily on my chest. Because I was starting to realize, maybe I had been afraid all this time. Afraid of being responsible. Afraid of failing. Afraid that I didn't have what it took to lead, to create, to give something meaningful back. But the storm had already taken everything. What more was there to fear? As the days passed, the shop took shape again. But more than that, the street began to breathe. Children swept gutters. Women organized food distributions. The youth started a community WhatsApp group to share ideas on rebuilding the town. We weren't waiting for help anymore. We became the help we needed. The biggest change wasn't the buildings. It was in the eyes of the people. In mine, too. I discovered that the potential I had been searching for in Lagos traffic, in noisy interviews, in borrowed suits, had been here, buried under self-doubt and silence. Buried under expectations and the belief that success had to come with loud applause. But true success. It's quiet. It's found in moments, like seeing your mother smile again. Like watching your community rise from rubble with nothing but determination. Like waking up and realizing you're no longer running. One evening, it rained again. A gentle rain this time, the kind that washes, not destroys. I stood in the doorway of the rebuilt shop, with Mama sewing again behind me and children laughing outside. And I felt peace. I used to think storms only came to take. But sometimes, they come to remind. To awaken the parts of us we forgot existed. To show us we're stronger than we believed. So if you ever feel like you've lost everything, look within. Your strength is there. Your fire is waiting. And sometimes, it takes the storm, to bring it out.